Hello, folks. We had some technical difficulties. We might have lost some stuff, so we're gonna rewind a bit, and we're gonna pick up with the fight with Ellen and Natsumi.
Right. Fortuitously, the difficulties again forced us to go back and rewatch some of the stuff. So we managed to rewatch the entirety of Data Life for the third time again, just for convenience sake.
For me, it's my sixth time,
Yeah. For me, that was the third cock and ball torture session that I had to endure. But everything
I
for
fully
content.
Stockholm into it. I fully Stockholm jumped now.
Right. Okay. So the fight with Eren. Previously, I said that when the fight began and Eren wounds Natsumi, that's what caused Natsumi to drop her spell, and the girls are returned to normal forms. That did not happen. I made that up. The truth is much more wild, because actually the fight between Eren and Natsumi starts, and Natsumi initially turns Eren into little child, and we have little child Eren.
This raises a question. If she can erase people's fucking souls from reality, why does she not start her fight with that?
That is a very good question.
Why doesn't she just erase Westcott Prescott?
She doesn't know about Westcott Prescott.
Why don't they do that in season 4? That was solved season 4.
Very good question.
That was literally solved season 4 and episode 1 of season 4. That would just solve the plot.
It will never be answered. Titania, do you have other possible input of that nature?
The writer couldn't think of it, so he just wants you to ignore it.
Well, the writer gives an explanation for why she doesn't do that most of season 4, but she could have done it at the start of season 4, preventing the thing that stops her from being able to do it later.
But again.
So far, so.
Why did she do it before he gets his bullshit anti-spirit shield?
Alex, you're asking a lot of questions, and the point of our podcast is not to ask questions. The point of our podcast is to answer them, because you are the Vaatividya of shitty media, so don't ask poignant questions. Answer them. Tell us. Tell us. Why did that happen?
Okay,
why didn't she just rewrite Eren from existence?
To be fair, this arc has shown how stupid Natsumi is.
Well, that is true, and we still have one more arc I really like, and then the next arc after that, for a character so fucking overpowered they make Natsumi look like a fucking... Jesus Christ, the power escalation of spirits is fucking dumb, as you guys will learn. Oh my fucking god, the power escalation.
You mean the lady with like the that can draw reality into her comics?
Someone even more dumb after that?
God, this anime is going off the rails, but it is going to go off the rails in the near future. Not for now. For now, Natsumi fights Eren. Natsumi turns Eren into little girl, but little girl Ellen, even in her small child form, is still formidable, and it's still fucking stronger than Natsumi. Manages to fucking anime slash her. There is a pretty gory, for Data Life standard, scene of Natsumi bleeding, and there's like actual animation of her being like viscerally terrified of the wound that she was stricken with.
Very important thing here. This is the only time that a spirit is ever in real serious threat of death. It is confirmed here, if you listen to dialogue closely. If she did not get medical attention at Braxtonus very quickly, she would have just straight up died. Like, for real, she died.
Yes, she gets closer to dying than Toka did back in season 2.
I don't think there's any character in the rest of Data Life that ever comes as close to her. She was like minutes away from death.
Except Kurumi, who delights in killing herself, obviously. But
well, that's not real death.
Story.
That's not real death. That's fork death.
It's a real death. She kills her own like timeline clones. It's a real death.
That is true. She just says dirty deeds done cheap. A reference that, if you understand, don't spoil in the comments.
It's not even Filthy X a reasonable price. But anyway.
Fuck you! You're a bad person, Titania. Bad.
Whoa. Cool down. It's
don't worry, it makes sense. Buddy, don't worry about it. Anyway,
let's be honest, that's the best localization in that fucking series all the time. That's the best fucking.
Nobody knows who we're talking about except for the cool people.
Okay, yeah.
Anyway.
But this podcast is done for the cool people. You in the audience.
This will be watched by you, cool people. But definitely didn't watch this because I leaked this on Reddit.
since you are watching this, you are cool, unless you actually think Data Life is kind of maybe okay or not the worst thing that happened in reality. In which case, no, cool. Fuck
Well,
off.
I think that.
Well. I mean, but I can't say bad things about you.
My point being, I think you guys are both wrong. I think Shido
Uh
has
huh.
come the closest to die, except for when we knew, like, before we knew about
You know, he has
immortality.
auto heal. Fuck you. No,
No,
he has auto heal.
no, but before we knew about his immortality, we thought he died. Remember?
Oh right,
Yeah.
wait. There's stuff later on where he actually comes closer to dying than Nasumi. Yeah, he comes way closer to dying later on.
Okay, but he's not even a spirit.
Well, yeah, but like, you said
Debatable.
character, not spirit.
Also, does it matter? Like, I mean, if he died, that would be better for everybody.
I mean,
I'm not saying you're
I'm
wrong.
not saying that doesn't happen, and the fucking universe contrives itself to reverse to retroactively fix history.
You know,
I wish
Alex,
he.
you keep spoiling the show for later people. I don't think that's a good thing.
Fuck is watching this who hasn't watched it? Probably everyone watching this. Anyway, we should go on to
Anyway,
the fight.
yes. Well. There was an amazing scene.
Which,
I just
while
wanted to.
watching, I remind you, Eminem guessed the ending of season 4. I still won't tell him when he gets drunk.
Yes, I managed to somehow, in my drunk stupor, predict the ending of season 4 in a little bit previously, and I don't know what that prediction was because I don't remember making it. Alex knows, and apparently it's a big thing. But it's gonna be
Dude,
interesting
I still have no idea how you fucking 3D snow scope. It is such an insane amount of fucking intuition you did. Like, yeah, all these things are obvious. You connected a bunch of random dots. I'm like, that's fucking dumb, and you were right.
Yeah.
Fuck you.
Which we will get to later. For now,
A year from now.
there's the scene again. Data Life has a big tonal issue because the scene of the fight with Eren is like again very dramatic and it like really shows Natsumi being horrified of the injury. Like it's almost a scene straight out of Attack on Titan. I don't understand what that scene is doing in this light-hearted harem comedy. But apparently, the author Motonaga, who I remind you is the director behind all of this, decided that the stakes needed to be upped a little bit, and we get the gruesome scene of wounding Natsumi. Anyhow, Natsumi is distressed, and it is at this point when all of the other girls, the spirits, and Shido come to the scene. All of them are still little girls. They are still little children, but they're just like spirit children in their spirit outfits. Which, again, I remind you, Kaguya and Yuzuru's outfits are very, very skimpy. So they and very BDSM, and they are exactly the same in those children forms. Digress.
Yep.
They come to the scene. They attempt to rescue Natsumi. Miku, of course, on command of Shido, uses her mind controlling powers to control the soldiers helping Ellen. They subdue her, which gives our
From the rewatch, can I just like add a detail there that I think you're overwatching?
yeah.
It's very clear they're fighting against her will. So they're basically just being forced to do actions that they don't. It's very clear if you look at their eyes, they're not in control of their bodies, which is great.
Great, yeah, absolutely.
Real body horror there.
Yeah, all of this scene, like this entire sequence is completely from a different anime.
Wait, this is way more horrific than previously when she used her power. Because
Oh, yeah.
previously when she used her power, they think that's what they want. But
Yeah.
here, it's very clear that they have some resistance and that they just like are lifelessly doing it, like they're resisting.
Yeah.
I mean,
This time
we
it's-
don't know that
yeah.
that's what always happened, but it's just that she
It's what's happened in every other previously shown use of her power.
Yeah.
Alex is right. There's a stark difference in what happened in season 2 of how she used her powers and what happens now. It's like two very different instances.
No,
and the
no.
way this is animated and shown, it's clear that this time she's not using her powers in the same way that she was using them back then.
No, because
So which is more ethical?
I want you
could-
to stop. Okay, they're fighting wizards and probably elite wizards and that. So maybe they learn to have a little bit of resistance, but not so much resistance that they can fight all against it. So only their heads. And
That sounds.
We don't know that mentally this wasn't happening with everyone beforehand, or because
No, we do know because they're previously they're verbally talking like even when their
Yeah,
powers
but-
were all don't know they were
yeah,
mind
but
control.
like Alex, there was mind control. Like okay, like you can still be in pain even beforehand. You know what I mean?
Fair enough.
Because like
Uh,
she could have just controlled how you were
That-
talking
Now,
about stuff. And
I,
stuff.
as a season 4 and watcher, know something, but I want to know what your thoughts.
Okay, stop
Yeah.
mentioning season 4.
Wait, let me finish.
because-
If she died, what do you think would happen if Natsume died?
Oh, what do you mean?
What
Nothing.
do
She
you
wouldn't.
think? What do
She
you
wouldn't
think?
die because this is Data Life. This
Yeah,
is
but
a,
YouTube,
this is
what,
a
but
pointless.
YouTube, what do you think canonically happens when the spirit dies? I know the answer. I'm curious to you guys know.
A chicken appears. Anyway.
No,
Um,
given that this is Data Life, I assume something horrendously stupid like a new spirit appears that is younger by 10 years and is in the skimpy outfit and is immediately in love with Shido. Did I guess it?
Not even close.
Thank
yeah,
God.
not
Thank God.
anyway.
Thank
It's
God.
fucking horrific.
Also,
Holy
maybe
shit.
maybe Miku has a lower power here because she's a child.
No, she has a lower power because she's stabbed.
What?
And she's
No,
bleeding to death.
not Natsumi. Miku and her mind control power.
Yeah.
Titania
Oh,
is trying
yeah,
to argue
yeah.
that she is weaker because she's a child, which I don't think is the case. I think the
No,
spirits.
no, she's canonic. No, she mentions that she's weaker, and she mentions even weaker as a child, she's still the strongest wizard in the world.
I didn't
What?
say Ellen.
No,
I said Miku.
you are Miku, the fake bike
Oh,
girl.
Miku, not Ellen. Okay.
Right, and I don't
know
think
how you got them mixed up, but whatever.
I don't think that's the case. I think the spirits, and I don't know, Alex, maybe you can answer this. Are spirits in child versions weaker than their adult versions? I don't.
Well, I have
think
no
so.
fucking idea. It does. There's no evidence of that. There's evidence wizards are, but there's no evidence with all their powers seem to work the same.
Right.
I see no difference. It
And
seems to be-
Yoshinan already is a child.
Well, Ichi was more of a child, so
I guess she
You
lost
know
like
those
2
leaders
years.
that are like more mind and more mood? She's now more child. She's still child, but she's more. The leader's higher.
Anyway,
yeah.
the battle resolves. The battle resolves. Alan is subdued. The spirits escape with Natsumi, and she's spirited away to Ratatouille, the ship in the sky, and she is confined and healed and returned back to her normal condition. Of course, she is powerless for a while, so she can't just like immediately bolt and escape. So essentially, it is at this point where she is forced to actually engage these people in a conversation purely because she doesn't have enough energy to just escape immediately. That's the only reasoning. She's
also-
essentially a hostage. She's
also-
essentially a hostage.
Also, everyone goes back to their regular form.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
And
Because
they
she,
also go back to their normal cognitive state. And don't ever bring this up again.
Okay, like
Yes.
Okay, like I already said normal form, but why do you feel the need to say like? I feel like that suggests cognitive form also. Or
In
does it
retrospect, yes. In retrospect, yeah. That was redundant in retrospect.
well,
not? I mean, I was just asking you, like, I don't know, whatever.
I'm
No,
just,
you're right.
I'm just thinking that this is Data Life, and I imagine this would be entirely possible to keep the spirit in a adult form and have their mind revert back to a child form, or knowing this out, or probably the other way around, which actually kind of happened.
Yeah, but like,
Because lolly content is all about a child that is very very intelligent.
I don't.
Not
Because
predicting
that's
stuff
the-
that happens later.
I don't know
Shut
about
up.
that. But anyway,
Not predicting the
all
future.
all the girls start talking with Natsumi and telling her how she can still be pretty even in her non-magical form, where she's
Right.
short.
Even as a flat chest, I know it's fucking.
Yeah.
This is
pathetic.
this is where the true form of Natsumi is actually revealed in its full display, because previously we only saw a little bit of a glimpse of it,
We saw
and now
for frames, yeah.
and now we see what Natsumi like actually looks like in her real form. And essentially, just to not belabor the point, what Natsumi is a specific archetype in sort of harem stories, where she is the plain looking unattractive girl that is very self-conscious about how she looks, and she thinks that this makes her unlovable, and she is a very big need, so she is just a depressed girl that thinks very lowly of herself and thinks that she is ugly, despite the fact that she really isn't, because she looks like a normal anime girl. It's just
Flat.
she is
Just
flat
flat.
chested, she is short, that's it. She's still cute because this is anime. So she's not even actually ugly. So this is like the whole
No, I'll
point is,
give it.
of
No, I'll
course,
give
again,
her.
shoot to hell.
I'm going to defend the show for a second. I
Will you?
think what's going on here is I think she's insecure about being a late bloomer with puberty.
Yeah, I think that's the case because she's not a lolly. She
She's
is
not
a
canonically.
girl.
She probably wouldn't be canonically attractive to people of her age. Probably much further along. in puberty.
Maybe she is definitely not happy about the fact that she didn't develop a bigger chest and she didn't.
She's upset.
That's
She's the type of person who's upset because she started puberty around 13 instead of like the more average age of like
right.
8-ish.
And this is at this point where I have to ask a very important question to the both of you, because this is bugging me to this day. Why is she a witch? Why?
Why not?
Why when? Why,
I'm
okay, why
actually
not?
pretty sure with some future knowledge. I think the author regrets this highly by the amount of situations he has to write her out of in the future.
No, I don't mean, but I don't mean
Oh,
a witch in the sense of the power that she can like do stuff with her power. I mean in the sense of aesthetics, of witch aesthetics. Why
thematically,
is
I
she?
have no fucking
Yeah,
idea
thematically.
if she coheres thematically.
I can give you some bullshit explanation about how witches are famous for changing their appearance and stuff. to
Yeah,
being
they're
cool people,
famous for
but,
being
like,
ugly hags that turn themselves into pretty girls.
yeah,
Well,
but like,
I can
like,
maybe
but
I
like,
can
but
maybe
the answer is
yeah.
just why not? You know?
Well,
No, I
okay.
think I'm right. I think I'm right. I think I got it.
No,
I think
Alex, whatever.
yes, Titania wanted to give that bullshit explanation.
No,
Like,
like
I think
I
you're
was the
right.
one that
Yeah.
said it
Yeah,
first. I said it
yeah,
first.
yeah. And look, I understand that there surely is a bullshit explanation that you can come up with, like you just did, Titania, and Alex then immediately stole it. That she can just transform herself, and that's a witch thing. I understand it, but like the point I'm getting at is that I fucking love witches. Witches are my favorite fantasy archetype of characters because I find witches as an aesthetic and as a thematic thing incredibly compelling, because like they are a reference to a very fascinating period of history and a social class existing in society of like women existing on the fringes of society that nevertheless fulfill an incredibly important societal role that nobody else in society would be able to accomplish other than them. And like for a person to just take that and reduce it to, oh, she just transforms because which ugly girl can transform into hot big chest girl, and it's like it's disgusting to me. It's just disgusting that somebody would take this fantastic wealth of cultural mythos and reduce it to something like this.
I don't know. I think it's fine. I don't really like. I mean, look at what they did to wizards. I don't think it's a problem.
Okay, Titania, do you have like a favorite cultural thing, like a cultural wellspring of mythos that you particularly enjoy in stories?
Mad scientist for me. Do you have one,
No, I can.
Titania?
I like this. I like stories. I don't really like witch to me is just like a spellcaster. I don't know if like
Well, okay, but don't think about which. Tell me what you find compelling in stories that is like interesting to you specifically, that you like enjoy.
I guess like the power systems. I like it when there's like they go into all the minutiae and stuff of them.
I feel like we're talking past each other a little bit,
We
but
should
I
probably move on.
You asked me something I find interesting in stories. Like an archetype I find interesting in stories. Is
Yeah,
that
like a
what you-
trope.
maybe like a trope, like a trope.
um. Are you familiar with the term the dragon in a story? That is not necessarily a dragon. It is just an antagonist that is like has the role of a dragon, where they are like
Mm-hmm.
the strongest and like they are the pillar.
Mm-hmm.
An example of this would be like Toguro from Yu Yu
Opposite
Hakusho.
of Westcott Prescott. He has no powers whatsoever other than being
Yeah,
clever.
I think Ellen will count as like the dragon
Would
of daylight.
Alan would count as a dragon of the okay? So
Yeah.
like,
He is
isn't that
canonically the best wizard ever, but wizards have also only existed for like 15
That's-
years.
that's the thing? Isn't it like a little bit insulting to you if you really enjoy that trope that like Eren has an entire fucking character arc when she is consistently outwitted by a bunch of girls that dig holes beneath her?
I mean, no, because
And
it's just a comedy. I
it's
don't.
comedy.
Yeah.
Okay, okay. I guess you could make it like make a comedy about Darth Vader and it would still be funny and wouldn't necessarily infringe of his role as the dragon in the story. But
I have a
I
uh,
mean,
question for
yeah,
everyone about
that's.
what comes next.
I okay. Robot Chicken has a lot of transphobia. I just find out. But
okay.
I mean, that's what I did with the Robot Chicken Star Wars parodies. Remember?
Well, like the one with Boba Fett.
No, they're like everything. Like they made a
I
whole
don't.
God, Mr. Ball's amazing.
like
I don't. I don't know what you're talking about. Sorry.
We have billions of dollars of medical equipment. What do you mean she's dying of heartbreak? Where did you get your medical degree? Poetry school?
yeah.
I
Anyway,
don't.
to get back to it. I mean, I guess Eminem really likes the concept of witches. I mean, to me, witch has just so many meanings. Like there's like the Nickelodeon Nick at Night witch. Remember? There's Sabrina,
Mhm.
or like
Yeah,
there's
but even Sabrina had a lot of like genuinely good witch aesthetics inside that show. There is like genuine interest in the mythos there,
there's
which is
also
completely absent from Data Live.
there's also Madoka Magica, which is
Which is absolutely fucking swamped with witch aesthetics and witch mythos. The fucking Walpurgis night, which is a very important thematic concept to witches because that's the night when witches ostensibly would cavort and make deals with the devil, which is very, very important for the plot of Madoka because Homura becomes the devil. So this is extremely important for Madoka Magica, and Madoka Magica pays respect to the mythos.
Who knew
I
Christianity
I
was correct, but
I
Jesus and Satan were actually cute anime girls? Who
Sure.
knew?
yeah,
Yes,
but
Titania?
also like just to clarify something about historic events. Males could also be witches because he was like do you remember the Red Scare?
Yes, yes. Which could absolutely is inclusive. Yes, men can also be witches. Yes,
Yeah, no, and they were also tried and just killed. It
But
was
Scooby
definitely
Doo
mostly
told me
women.
that male witches are called warlocks. Scooby Doo told me that.
No, no,
that
no.
is that is
Yeah,
false.
yeah, but th- and that is
I-
that is something that most people accept. Like the male definition of witch will be warlock, but not at the time, of the Salem witch
Not at the
trials.
time. That is something
Yeah,
that people adopted way later when in modern times where the archetype sort of resurfaced and started to be used in pop culture. When it sort of was brought back into a very highly gendered society, it sort of split into witches and warlocks. But in the olden times, there was no distinction. It was just witches, some of whom were men.
yeah, and
So,
also, and it was just like people you didn't like were witches, and this person seems to be weird, or like maybe it was for like or like for like LGBTQ plus people, or like people,
Autistic
or
people would
a
very
woman
often
woman that didn't want
yeah.
to sleep with the witch hunters and stuff,
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
all that
Yeah,
awful stuff. Yeah,
that's the witch hunts, but it doesn't decrease the historical importance of the witch as a social class.
as a side note, I'm not saying you cannot have witches and the witch trials, like actual magical witches, but it is funny that in so many stories it's about like witches being persecuted, but
Mhm.
the whole point of the Salem witch trials is that they're fake. But when you have
Yeah,
actual witches in the show, it's kind of like,
it undermines the point a little bit that
yeah,
like yeah. Although I guess it also sort of reinforces the point in the sense that like well even if they are real, you probably shouldn't persecute them.
yeah,
so
yeah, it's just kind of funny.
uh, onwards on the Data Light plot in our Data Light
Right,
podcast.
right. We
So,
took
I
a
have
huge
an
tangent, but
interesting
I
question
don't
for
think.
both of you.
Okay, I had to say I don't think anybody here can blame one another for not following the Dead Alive plotline. I
yeah,
think
but
we
I
I
both have
watched
just
this,
side
like,
tangents.
I'm now canonically, actually, like, out of joking for the podcast, watched this 2 episodes 6 times.
I needed to voice this because witches are very important to me. I, Eminem, in real life consider myself a witch. I am a self-proclaimed witch, and I do enjoy casting spells on different occasions. And this is why this is important to me.
Yeah, like,
So,
okay. Here's a good example. Then, do you remember Darling in the Franxx?
I never watched that fully, but I do know of it. Yes, I
Well, you have to
remember it.
understand, Eminem. I'm an atheist, you see.
Wait.
Exactly.
Let finish. Let
No.
Titania
He's
finish.
that point exactly. I'm an atheist, you see,
Mhm.
and then that's his explanation why he did all that bad stuff, and like, why did you
What?
kill the warheart, Itachi? Why did you kill your clan? I'm an atheist, you see.
You see?
So yeah.
What?
If
What?
Darling in the Franks, there's a character who's giving an explanation for why he did the bad stuff, and all he says is,
Mhm.
"You see, I'm an atheist."
Okay, based.
So
I didn't
I'm an
know. I
atheist.
didn't know. I didn't know. Darling in the Franks is so based. Good. Good to
Yeah.
know.
Ree, as the annoying atheist, outperforms the plot.
Okay. Well, anyway, yeah. Let's get back to the data life
Yeah, so
plot.
all the
So
girls help Natsumi feel better about her body and stuff, which is
I have a
uh,
question for you all
mhm.
about the next thing.
Is this the
So they
same
make a
question you had
bet.
before?
Yes. So my question is, they make a bet if they can make Dulcie feel better, she'll let them seal her. But my question is, while the girls try to make her feel better, am I the only one who thinks her new character design with her make made pretty looks way uglier? Like
absolutely.
way uglier.
Absolutely. It makes her look super generic and it makes her look super uninteresting. In her normal look with the hoodie and like the long bangs, she is much more appealing as a character. She looks almost punkish in that sense, but the design that they're trying to give her with like the
Fucking
smooth skin,
pigtails.
it fucking pigtails, it looks completely generic and awful.
Not just that, it makes her like she's insecure about being a late bloomer, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
She looks
pigtails.
so much younger with
She
pigtails.
looks,
So
yeah,
young.
they make her younger. Like the thing that the things that they do for her doesn't don't make her look older. They make her look even more like a child.
This should have backfired. Her reaction makes no sense
Yeah,
at all.
yeah.
You could probably get away
Because
with this in the light novel where you just say she looked older after, you know what I mean? But you actually have to give a
right,
new character design in
but
anime.
you have to remember that Keitaro Motonaga directed this, and we all know what is his favorite type. So
I see.
Actually, I don't think we know. No, but whatever.
oh,
I,
I
I
do
would
know,
I
I
would
do know,
say
I know that man intimately by this point.
okay.
Oh yeah,
I
everyone's been stalking him in between recordings.
Yes, me and me and Keitaro Motonaga were in constant communication. He's actually a pretty swell
It's
guy.
been one continuous recording
Even
till the technical issues, and during the technical issues, everyone flew to Japan.
Japan met with Motonaga personally. No, actually, we probably shouldn't pursue this anymore because we are reaching like libelous accusations. at this point.
Here's the
Yeah,
thing:
it
this
is.
is libel under Japanese law, actually.
I
Yeah,
don't know.
yeah.
I just don't like it when we talk about like our interesting lives instead of data life.
Yeah.
I would
But
say
you can't. Okay, but
yeah.
we can't only talk about data life. We have to, and I cannot allow ourselves to only talk about data life and what is in data life. We have to talk about the impact of data life and things surrounding data life because otherwise, this is a shit analysis.
Sure, but
Yeah.
I think we should do that
We are
after
doing
the.
the most in-depth analysis of data life that will probably ever exist ever.
Sure, but I
Yes,
think we should do
Titania.
that after we talk about the
I
plot and
see.
stuff.
Yeah, we should
Okay,
probably finish
fair,
that.
I will
fair.
say here's something I wanna say, and please don't interrupt, Alex. uh, so I think you can take the Natsumi transformation two ways. One that it's good, and the other one's bad. So the goal here is to make Natsumi feel better about her own body, and the way you can take it that is good is that um the Natsumi wants to be pretty in the traditional sense, not in like the sense of when she has a hoodie, which is I will argue more aesthetically appealing, but maybe not to Natsumi herself, because
Hmm.
she seems to have this very conventional view of beauty, and that's why they put makeup on her, and even Shiori, Shiro disguised as a girl, like, well, I guess would you call that drag or not? Because she's performing Shido is performing as
That
a
would be
girl.
drag. Yeah, I
Yeah.
think that'd be drag because she doesn't identify.
What I would call that, and I already called it that way, and I will reiterate, I would call that Keitaro Motonaga having absolutely no fucking clue about trans people and being very offensive.
Yeah, but like just like,
I
we
would say
know
this
about
case,
that, but
guy
for us that know more about like
in
the
universe,
issues, yeah.
in universe, I'd call this drag
But
because he identifies still as a guy.
the question is, do you have to enjoy performing as a girl for it to be drag or not? Or
That's a
is
good
it just
question,
the
or is it just
act
cross
of
dressing?
dressing like a girl?
That's a good question. Well, I mean, as a person who recently released a video about this topic, I guess I
Link to
can
Read
offer.
Revolution.
No, do not link to Weeb Revolution here. No association, none. Completely two separate, completely different entities. No correlation. But I can say that like this idea of a male character who is forced for circumstances outside of their control to dress as a girl and present feminine is a very popular archetype, and it existed since around early 2000s, and that's what sort of started this idea of male characters cross-dressing.
I've
Later
seen
on,
that
this
shit and stuff
character.
from I've seen that trope and stuff from the fucking 1800s.
Well, no, but it's a very specific. It's a very specific incarnation in the
He's
sense
talking about
in
the
the
anime
sense that this.
version, not like the
Yeah, I'm talking.
Shakespeare.
Yeah,
Yeah.
not the Shakespearean thing, and I'm talking about the specific incarnation of this character having to present feminine, like being forced for some reason. Not just presenting like for other reasons, but like being forced to for one reason or another. This archetype would later on mold and evolve into different forms, into men who cross-dress out of a whim, into men who cross-dress for completely different reasons, and also, of course, this archetype has always, since its inception, even before it was a thing, also included trans women. So it's a big messy subject, and I'm not giving it a lot of justice right now, but I'm just trying to sort of compact it. The
We're on a
point the
bit of a
point is
schedule.
the
That's
point is that
taking us an hour.
Shiori fits neatly into a very popular anime archetype of a man cross-dressing for reasons that are not entirely consensual on their part.
Yeah,
That's it.
this is not Mulan or Bugs Bunny dressing up as a
No.
girl. But I think I think there is a Japanese trope where boys are like raised as a girl for in their younger years to ward off evil spirits. I don't know how old that trope is. I think
that
it
is
might
a
be old.
that is a thing since fucking feudal Japan. Holy
Yeah.
shit, that goes back to feudal
That
Japan.
is, but I need to check up on that. But yes, but I don't think that necessarily fits into this archetype, or maybe it kind of
This
does
is
in
like
a
the modern version.
thematic
I think like
sense.
the 2000s is a good like for this version specifically. And the thing about Shiori is that Shido is unclear whether he enjoys it or not. I think he's mostly neutral about it. Will be
I
the
don't
best
think he
explanation.
enjoys being a woman, but I think
Well,
he takes pride in being able to pull it off. That's
I think
essentially
so. I think that's a good way to phrase it, because you have to remember that in this particular instance, it's not Kotori who tells Shido to turn into Shiori for this procedure. Like Shido decides himself to transform into Shiori to help her, which is very weird, and I think is supposed to like sort of imply that Shido wants to, I guess, like connect with his like female self to better learn how to help Natsumi.
Apologize. I did
I
not read the light novel for this. I don't know what his internal monologue says. I did not read this
I
light
don't
novel.
believe that's the case. I think it's more like for him because he is actually a boy, not a trans person, right?
Yes,
because
yes.
because
Is
even
he?
because that
He is
even
very
he
male.
who considers himself a boy can with makeup and dresses make himself look like a girl, then Natsumi of course can probably do the same.
Even better, and I guess I guess you could also say that like he's trying to make Natsumi more comfortable about the fact that he is also helping, in the sense that like she is already surrounded by other girls who are helping her, so Shido also pretends to be a girl to make the whole process more comfortable.
I think I have a take here that's been forming during this conversation.
I do want to say something first, and then you have your
Yes.
You go, yeah, go to Tanya.
yeah.
Yeah.
Imagine if Natsumi was like a trans girl, right? And this happened, right? And that was her insecurity. I think it will be a lot stronger of like understanding, because currently, like, I mean, Yoshinon is a girl and we always knew that, and like the same with Kotori, and like I think that's the other two girls that look like Natsumi in her regular form. So it's like it is very interesting.
Absolutely. If you, I am a big proponent of the theory that if you just inject just a little bit of queerness into any really terrible story, yes, even Data Life, it immediately becomes way better. So yeah, sure. If she was trans, this entire transformation would actually be kind of compelling and interesting. But Keitaro Motonaga doesn't know that trans people exist, so
yeah, and also
As a book reader, I actually don't think he does. It's like the way he tries so hard in like the book to be like, you see, you shouldn't be homophobic, but also Toad definitely. I actually don't think he's aware they exist. He's aware gay people exist.
yeah, at least that. I will also say like I think inserting like not just queerness but like any kind of minority, even women, which are not a minority but like essentially.
Yes, they are. They make up only 49% of the human population, thanks to China.
Yeah, no,
well,
it's
and
just
they're
society. Just like minority is not the best word. People that are persecuted for just being who they are.
You can
it
call
stories,
them.
It makes stories more interesting.
Yeah.
But there are certain stories where it's even more fitting. For example, like Persona 5, the fact that none of the characters have any like the biggest thing is that Anne is like half American. And that's and they're
She's
supposed to be
mixed
like the rebels that everyone hates, but like they don't really have like anything like
No,
they're
half
hated
white
just for
people are
being
really
themselves.
prejudiced against Japan. The bigger problem is not that she's not a real minority. The bigger problem is it never really it only vaguely suggests the racism off screen.
Oh, I didn't say she wasn't a real minority, because like there is half American bias, like of course in Japan.
Okay, that's how the
what I was trying
implication
to
came
say
up.
that that's the biggest thing, and it's not really that much, and it's also not shown like.
I don't know. I feel like people dealing with racism in Japan would probably disagree on it's not that much.
I mean, there's literally
I
there's
was
literally a
agreeing with you,
racist term
Alex.
for them.
Like there is.
Yeah, I feel like all the people that were bullied to the suicide wouldn't agree it's not that big a problem.
Are you saying I said that?
You literally just said it's not that.
No, I don't think that's what
I was
meant.
saying in the game. They don't like. I was agreeing with you, Alex.
Oh, okay.
They don't
So we
address
just
it in the
talked
game.
past each other. Okay.
Okay, but like they don't have any. They don't have any like gay people in the Phantom Teams, or like I think Chinese. Half Chinese character will have also help, or just full Chinese.
I mean, you're saying this, but they did put the one black wizard in, and that did not help.
In Persona 5?
No, in Data Life.
No, I was talking about Persona 5.
My most unpopular opinion here is I don't feel like putting a queer character into a badly written story makes it a well written story.
Right, but so you're talking a very well written story, and you're saying that minority people and queer people in that story helped. I don't know, like they put a black wizard in Data Life, that did not help. So I think just minoritizing and like adding token minorities doesn't help.
That seems so much worse, by the way.
Adding queerness I think does help, but just adding minorities, I don't see how that would help.
No, well, I think adding minorities in any kind of story can make it more interesting, not necessarily better. Just like more like I guess what's the term, less just less generic, because we have some
homogeneous.
Homogeneous also is a good word, yeah.
I don't know. I feel like this is feeding into liberal tokenization.
Alex.
I want to get to my just because I mean, you said adding queerness always makes a story better. I feel like it makes a story less generic and less homogeneous whenever you add that. But there are certain kinds of stories where it does make it better because there is a more struggle. Like Joker, it's like there's no thing that Joker has that people make fun of just for being who he is. It's just that the circumstance. The same with Futaba. The same with the
Okay,
all
I
the
was
other
about to make fun of
characters.
you
And the
because
other
my
one,
brain thought you were talking about Batman. I was like, what the
hmm?
fuck are you talking about? Joker's a mass murderer. And then my brain thought you were
No,
talking
we're
about
talking about
Batman.
Persona. We're talking about
Yeah.
Persona. Joker from Persona. The guy whose superpower is that he uses a gun.
Arrested. I think you're kind of. I understand what you're saying, but I think you're minimizing a lot of Japanese cultural issues, specifically the stigma around people that have any arrest history.
Any what?
Arrest history.
Well, yeah. No, I'm not saying it's. I'm just saying like, of course, there like that's a struggle in and to himself, but there is no when you're doing a story about revolution and being rebels, I will say Joker's what's his name? A Skull, right? He does have does he dye his hair blonde or is he naturally
Yes, he
blonde?
does deserve blonde.
Oh, okay.
I think there's a lot of nuances. I could get into talk about Persona 5, but this is not a Persona 5 podcast, and that would be literal hours.
Yeah,
Yeah, and also Persona
I,
5 is a good thing, and this podcast is not about the good
Yeah.
things.
So
This podcast is about.
I just think when you're making a story about or like with Natsumi, a story about not wanting people to see you your true self because you're afraid they might not accept you as the image you have in your head. I
Mhm.
think um putting transness there will improve it because it's more of a real thing that happens, and I don't.
I I
I guess
absolutely
girls
agree.
I agree with
also.
you, make it more novel, but I don't think this is an issue that no cis women have. I think it's a bit
No, but
dismissive.
I
Yeah,
absolutely agree that yes, when you're doing a story that is like specifically about a person that has problems with self image and wants to be accepted for like the image of themselves that they have, not making this a trans story is just a missed opportunity, and this is why I have a big problem with Spy Family, because like you have a story set in Cold War Germany, and you about like a crooked family that is like a found family and manages to find love and family that is like much more compelling than what this like quote unquote perfect society wants to enforce, and you're not making these characters gay. You're
I
doing
have
something
some.
wrong.
I have some.
Like you fucked up.
I
You
have
fucked
comments
up.
about. I have comments about both series, but I don't want to derail this completely.
Yeah.
we
Well,
can.
Or
yeah,
actually
so
get back
so
to the
my
thoughts.
point will remain uncontested. Thank you.
Yeah. Uh,
Yes. By virtue, if I don't have time, it'll be because this is. The point I wanted to bring up is has the transhumanist. I don't necessarily think there's anything wrong with her using her power to augment her appearance and body.
I agree.
I agree as well, but in the context of the story, it is clear that she is not using her powers merely to like augment her body and like make it better.
Yeah, she's
But
also a
she's
sociopathic dick. Yeah, that's
no
that's
no
the
No, no,
more
no
no.
no
important
What I
thing
mean
here.
is
no no. She's specifically using those powers because she has a bad self image, and she's specifically using those powers to hide who she actually is because she feels bad about how
Ah,
she looks.
fuck.
What's wrong?
I stood up and I got a huge head rush.
Oh, okay. But
I
you're
missed
okay,
it. Give
right?
me a second.
Oh,
Yeah.
I remember the good old days when I could stand up, when I still had legs.
Yeah. Now you're a ghost in the podcast.
Yep.
But now
Yep.
you but think of it this way: you can surf files with your mind.
Only very limited bandwidth,
So
but the
if I can
equipment
get us
will.
back on track, with a limited time here.
Hmm.
No worries.
We can't. I know this is gonna be
I
one
do.
other big long recording session.
Wait. This is the last thing I have to say because I didn't pay attention on the other two episodes. Um, the thing about Natsumi, now the bad fight interpretation would be like, Natsumi believes that she's not ready, in her normal form, and so to counteract this mindset, they immediately start making her wear different clothes and putting makeup on her. So
And proving she doesn't look good in her normal form.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, which is exactly what
You're not
happens.
ugly.
Yeah.
If you put makeup and change all your clothes, you're beautiful.
If you change everything about you,
Yeah, if
you're
you
not
change
unlovable.
everything,
If you change everything,
if you change everything about yourself and submit to the model of beauty that Keitaro Motonaga likes, which is, let's remind everybody, a child, then you will be beautiful. Which is exactly the message of the show. Yes.
I
No,
mean,
it's
I'll
just
give some things for
there's
like.
just two interpretations. It depends on like
I
I'm not
prefer
being
the
that
latter.
cynical.
stuff. I don't know. I'm willing to give Data Life the benefit of the doubt. It's just like trying to make her.
Are you really? Are you really able to give Data Life the benefit of the doubt after season 3? After
Yes.
the caged children in bunny suits? Really?
Yes, because I've seen more. So,
But Titania hasn't. Why are you able to give it the credit of doubt?
That's a good point. I've seen the show multiple times.
I just want to live in a more magical world where I think like people are better than they are.
Fair.
I lived in that world, and then I became a ghost in the machine.
Yeah, sorry about that. Actually, not sorry.
You're not a ghost of the machine.
You're
You're
a
a
ghost.
ghost of the podcast.
Ghost in the podcast. Yeah.
Can you restart the opening with the editing here?
Can't really say ghost in the machine because I think that's a copyrighted term. So
Yeah.
I'm not. That's gonna be bleeped out.
Let's watch the owners of that somehow surf and find our video. They report.
Anyway, right. So Natsumi.
Anyway, on with the plot.
Yes,
Natsumi.
Yeah, go on.
I just watched this like 10 minutes before we recorded.
Right. Let's give us a play-by-play.
So
I actually just I swear I won't talk anymore because I didn't pay attention. But like, to your point that Natsumi was enhancing herself and there's nothing wrong with that. Yes, but it's more like she was using like I don't even know if there's like a real life equivalent.
I agree. I understand what the show's doing thematically, but I think on a literal level, there's nothing wrong. I understand thematically the problem, but I think if you were to take this on a literal level, there's nothing wrong. Does that make sense?
Yeah, like I think if she was using it as makeup and she didn't have a problem with people seeing her normal.
The real world equivalent is using a different picture that represent yourself on social media. That'd be the most closest to a real world equivalent. And being upset when everyone meets your person discovers you're not a supermodel.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah.
In real life, you can't just change your brain. You can't become a supermodel by like just altering your body.
Yeah. I think that's a fair way of putting it. I think.
So I agree with the show metaphorically, but I don't agree with it on a literal level. And as you all know, literal readings are the best readings. And
I think definitely Alex is right to bring in that like transhumanist cyberpunkish aspect, because this idea of like blurring the online persona with the real life persona is a very big thing in cyberpunk fiction, to the point of like these lines become blurry and what you are as a projected image becomes indistinguishable from like anything else.
The digital you is far more real than the real you. You impact the world far more online than you ever do in your day-to-day life buying groceries.
And you are also able to appear as the idealized image of yourself in like every single social situation. Like you can be a complete hermit and never show your true self to the outside world, which is not the case in our normal world where we haven't reached the singularity yet. Yes.
Well, the singularity be a bit after that.
And Alex, now you can talk about
Yes.
Yeah.
Take us home.
So, as I walk around and talk around, tell me if my audio sounds off. As I walk around dramatically in my room. Sorry, not my room. I mean in our recording space, in the cell where the computer that holds Eminem's soul is, of course.
Exactly.
Can you just bleep out my fuck up there?
He meant his necromancy room. Yes.
Yeah, bleep out my
basement.
fuck up.
The basement. Yes.
The techno necromancy base. I'm a technomancer and a necromancer cross class.
The techromancer.
Yes. So anyway, what happens immediately after this is they put her back in her cell, which they should do because, let's remind you, she tried to delete people's souls. Like, that's fucking hardcore. For annoying someone related to her. So what she does when she starts to get a bit more power is she turns herself into the annoying sister, the sociopathic sister.
Alex, can you say pickle?
Beagle.
No, pickle.
Pickle. So what she does when she starts to get a bit more power is she turns herself into Pickle.
Yeah, thank you.
I can't wait to see how you edit that.
Alex has turned himself into a pickle. That's the funniest shit I've ever seen.
I'm a talking pickle right now. I have another body, my robot body. But I just thought for a while to will myself into a pickle.
I have no idea why are we on this tangent, but it's lovely. Please continue.
So she turns herself into bitchy sister. They go out to the other girls. She's like, "Speak the truth. Don't you understand? She's a pin in her ass." And here's the thing, okay? She's objectively correct. She literally tried to delete them from reality. What the fuck is everyone talking about? Why are you speaking mean about her? She's objectively worse than, like,
a mega
bad
Hitler.
person.
A mega Hitler. She's worse than mega Hitler.
Yeah, he did delete souls.
I mean, they did forgive Miku, so.
True. Yeah, this is actually, but what Alex is saying is that it's a little bit weird because yes, she pretends to be Kotori and she engages with other spirits and has a conversation with them about like how much Natsumi sucks and how much of a terrible person she was, which is true. And all of the spirits like immediately start ganging up on her in like this catty bitchy circle, saying no, don't be mean to Natsumi. No, Natsumi is cool. Natsumi is great, and like. For one thing, yes, it's very weird that none of them is even like tangentially like, okay, maybe Natsumi was a little bad, but like now we can forgive her. No,
Here's
they like
the other
immediately.
thing. Before you say like the Miku, people were antagonistic to Miku after what she did. The entire group at the beginning of this arc is antagonist. Like they accept her as part of like the harem, but they're all kind of sarcastic and distant towards her in a way they aren't towards anyone else.
I didn't pay much attention, so take this with a grain of salt. But what I saw it as was like, what Natsumi as Kotori was saying was mostly like her physical appearance, like Natsumi's.
Well, she brought up that, but she also brought up like her being a bad person.
And they mostly said no, Natsumi is pretty still, and also
kind of true.
That was the one thing they said, but she also brought up her being a bad person after that line, which I feel is the more important one here that no one fucking mentions.
Yeah,
yes, take that.
To answer that part, well, because Natsumi didn't really kill anybody, I think it's much easier for them to forgive her.
But he was willing to delete their souls.
Actually, this is where I'm gonna. This is where I want to be.
I think they see her more as like a mentally ill person. Like no.
Yes,
he was going to delete their souls.
I will add that mentally ill people are usually the least violent people, and like they're mostly the victims of violence. But in this one case, it's more like
Let me speak about this because I want to. Because yes, this is where I, Eminem, the ghost in the podcast, is actually going to be the devil's advocate of Data Life. What? So, Alex and I have talked about this a little bit, but like. I think
during the technical issues.
During the technical issues, I think the thematic through line here a little bit. What I'm going to be very charitable and assume is supposed to be the intent here is that after the spirits sort of realized in how much of a depression and how terrible place like vis-a-vis her image of herself Natsumi is, they sort of like realized that like being mad at Natsumi for what she did, like wouldn't really accomplish anything, because even if they were extremely mad at her and even if they wanted to exact any kind of revenge, they would not be able to hurt her in any meaningful way that she didn't already hurt herself through her depression and like terrible mental image of herself. So essentially they're looking at this like, well, we could be mad at Natsumi, but what's the point? Like, we're not going to be more mad at Natsumi than Natsumi is mad at Natsumi. So,
I'll continue on my play-by-play.
Would you say it's like a hate the sinner, not the sin? Hate the sin, not the sinner?
No, this is like you go to get revenge on someone and you realize killing them is better than leaving them to suffer the way they are.
Exactly. I think it's a little bit more that like after everything that has been said and done and like during the previous arcs, I think what they're trying to imply is that these people, spirits, Shido, and everybody, they're like becoming better people, which of course we don't see a whole of a lot because Data Life is terrible. But like the idea here, if I'm gonna be charitable and like try to think that Data Life is doing something positive is that like these spirits
No
are
bad
becoming
faith
better
analysis in
people.
this household.
Yeah,
Or
they're
by
trying
household,
to.
I mean necromancy, basically.
They have since become better people, and they have come to the point in their like empathy development where they can see somebody like Natsumi and not hold a grudge because they can recognize that what she did out of complete impotent rage, and that her actions were completely irrational. So you can't really hold her accountable. That's what I would think is
I
going
would
on.
say
So
that's
yes,
true.
kind of hate the
Like
sin, don't
the
hate the
bi
sin.
girl is much more accountable for her actions because she was equally rational before and after.
Yeah, absolutely. Yes.
I get the impression the bi person still hasn't learned why setting off nuclear bombs is bad, other than it upsets the guy she likes. I don't think she actually has a comprehension of it being bad beyond that.
Alex has asked me like after we've watched this, he asked me, do I hate Natsumi more than I hate Miku? And I said no, absolutely not. Miku is still the worst person because Natsumi did everything she did in a throw of passion, and her actions were completely irrational and were completely biased, and she wasn't
Miku's
acting
incredibly
rationally.
calculated.
Miku is completely calculated, and she's a complete sociopath, and she doesn't get better at
She's
any
the
point in the
fourth.
story.
Actually, from my knowledge, I think she's probably the fifth smartest character in the series.
She's a bigger sociopath than Kurumi. Kurumi had like a whole fucking movie,
Her
like
just
an OVA about her, where she like gets characterized and like gets real development.
Kirby
Miku
is
never
all
gets
about
that.
the ends justify the means. I won't tell you what her ends are yet, but like she does bad things, but in her mind, it's for a goal. It's for a greater goal. You know what I mean?
And the entirety of Miku's goal is be popular, have a lot of followers, have girls, have sex with Shido.
Yeah,
I would
That's
say
goals.
it's not really existential things and how reality should work.
I would say that Miku could be considered even a worse person, even if Natsumi was completely logical and stuff. Like just
I
because.
mean, if you go by people she fucked over, she mind raped a city, or Natsumi
Yeah.
almost attempted murdered 6 people total.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's the
9
question. What's
people.
worse, mind control or attempted murder?
I mean, like at most she will have affected 30 people. Miko affected like everyone in the city. So yeah.
So yeah, Miku is the worst person in this show.
And
And
even I, who am pretty fine problematic things, and also have no problem with the whole bi thing, I still think as a storytelling thing, as a person, Miku's like, I like Miku as a character, but she's easily the worst one morally. Oh my god.
I
It's
mean,
not even close to anyone else.
that's our representation, everybody. That's the queer representation of the story.
There's some characters that maybe they do like worse things coming up, but I think the reason that Miku comes out is because she's rational. She has a much better she has an understanding of things, but I
Right.
don't feel like the ones that do worse things do. You know what I mean? I don't think the other ones strike me as like children with godlike powers, where she strikes me as a teenager with godlike powers. You know what I mean?
And it's also the disproportion between her ability, her clear rational mind, and her absolutely bottom aspirational goals. Because when you look at Kurumi and when you look at Westcott Prescott, like these are sociopaths, but they have actual goals they're trying to pursue that you could maybe even argue are good goals.
Yeah, they're the
Miku's
I could
goals
argue
are
in both. I
stupid.
could argue in both of their names. Like, I'm still not sure what. I think I have a suggestion what Westcott's goal might be, but like, it's theoretically like for the glory of humanity in the long run. I think he wants mankind to rule the power of the spirits. I think.
They're the heroes of their own story, like Kurumi and
Yeah.
Westcott
Like
Prescott.
one was the turn everyone into base magic transhumanists. The other
Yeah.
one I can't tell you yet because that's huge spoilers. But she has an actual goal. Kurumi wants gay sex.
Miku wants
Miku
just
And
Miku just yeah.
He
I mean,
wants lots of gay
she-
sex and one boy to have sex with her.
I mean, yeah, she specifically like I mean, to be fair, she also has trauma, but like it doesn't justify it as much, and she's rational in her actions.
No! I'm sorry. If someone assaults you, that doesn't give you permission to mind rape a city.
I didn't say that, Alex. I said it doesn't justify it.
Yeah, she explicitly said that it doesn't justify that. Yeah.
Okay, sorry. I think some
It's
audio
just
cut out of my
just a little bit of devil advocacy here on Titania's part, in the sense that she still has trauma, and yeah, she does, but yeah, that doesn't justify what she did. Yes,
Like
definitely does.
if she went and killed the guy who
Mhm.
I know she wasn't actually attacked, but she was more or less blackmailed and didn't take the blackmail. So she was denied a career.
It's not really specified that much. Let's just
I have Reddit powers of asking people.
okay.
You're being Reddit. But back to the beat by beat. So
Yes.
she then transforms sister, then runs into the boy,
Natsumi.
who should really recognize that there's no way he can do, because he just talked to his sister in the opposite direction, and his sister just ran off in the opposite direction, and then he bumps into this one. Doesn't realize something's up until after she leaves and meets his sister again.
But as we've established, this show has very poor spatial understanding, as we've seen with the Yoshinon and the phone thing. So
Yeah.
you
That's true.
know,
Maybe this makes sense in the book when you could just say he passed his sister and he meets his sister again. You know what I mean?
yeah, maybe, yeah.
Because the book just has to say he passed his sister. It doesn't need to give actual spatial coordinates.
But in any case,
Watch us read the book, and it actually gives exact spatial coordinates.
Natsumi bolts. Natsumi disappears from the
Actor Shiro also does this Golger for being Mega Hitler.
Yep. And this is at this point where the B plot of the coup against Westcott Prescott finally blooms.
We forgot
into full
something
motion.
very important before the technical difficulties.
Mhm.
They named the two satellites Humpty and Dumpty.
Yes, the two satellites in orbits that are just about to crash into Tengu City, which
By the way,
remember the name of.
would have be stronger than more powerful. Would be the equivalent of an asteroid, which is worse than a nuke.
Yes, and we've established
well,
previously that
It depends on. It depends on like environmentally speaking.
Because it depends on the size of the asteroid. Saying it's as powerful as an asteroid is pretty broad.
Yeah, no, like
It's any rock for space.
I mean, like the explosion wise, these asteroids will be worse, like the satellites. But
Yeah.
the radiation, they don't have any radiation. It's
For no reasons whatsoever, meta-wise, I'm going to speed things up. He looks around and he gets a call saying, well, first off, he goes to his house looking for her, and Ellen's there. And Ellen's about to murder him, but Escott Prescott calls her off for reasons that she doesn't fucking understand. But she's like, "Your lucky day! I really want to fucking kill you, but my boss says I can't. I don't understand why."
And by the way, that entire conversation is complete. The conversation with Aaron is completely superfluous because it doesn't really add anything to the story.
No, it says something. It's important next arc.
Well, maybe it's important next arc. I don't know yet, but like at this point in the story, I was thinking like, why are they doing this? Is this like the moment where they like bring back Natsumi and she like defends?
No, this is just to explain
Shido,
why she's in Japan. She just explain she's in Japan so she can go ask him to escape, and also so she can go blackmail Origami.
Wait,
By the way, they're blackmailing Origami in the background.
Okay, I would like to say too.
No, wait.
Is this Full Metal Alchemist?
Is what Full Metal Alchemist?
That they need Shiro alive for some reason. And
I don't know, Alex.
Yeah. And like the other thing is like, Ellen cannot even.
Wait,
kill
no,
Shiro.
I actually know their plans. There's no the plans I understand from season 4 knowledge. There's no reason to not kill him. He would just win if they killed him there and then.
Not really, because wait. Remember, Shiro is immortal, so it doesn't even matter that Ellen chose to kill him or not.
No, Shiro's killable.
What?
No, he's killable.
She is killable.
It's confirmed later on. He could be perma killed. He has regeneration, but if you just kill him, he can recover from almost anything. But if he dies, he's not coming back. He won't regenerate if he fully dies.
You can just cut his head off.
Yes, cutting his head off cannot. He would kill him instantly.
But
because he wasn't dead. No, he was shot in the chest. He wasn't shot in the head.
Yeah, he regenerated a heart. No. A head wound is confirmed to be what would just outright, he would just die. He can't regenerate from death. You can only regenerate from near death.
In episode 1, he was sniped by Origami, but not in the head, just in his chest.
Yeah, it's confirmed. Season 4, head wounds would kill him because he can't. He can regenerate from almost anything unless it actually kills him. Then he just is dead.
There is, however, one element, like there is one reason for the scene with Ellen to exist, and it's the fact that, as we will learn later in the twist, a little bit of a spoiler, but it makes sense to talk about this now, is that Natsumi is actually has transformed into a lollipop and has been in Shido's pocket this entire time as Shido is
That
looking for
works
her
much
in the
better to bring
city.
up now. It makes some other. We can talk about
Yeah.
some more things going
So,
forward.
so it's
So
important
Ellen,
that during that conversation with Ellen wants to get get where Natsumi is out of Shido, and is trying to convince Shido to tell her that, like, juggling the lives of other spirits on the line, saying like,
yeah,
oh, if
just
you
let us kill Natsumi. Objectively, the one who literally tried to murder you. You know,
yes,
for all the ones that like you.
and Shido is of course not agreeing to that, and it doesn't want to have any of this, which again works to convince Natsumi that he's probably not such a terrible person, because right now she sees this as a lollipop that, well, there is literally nobody else here. This is the perfect opportunity for him to say, yeah, sure, I'm gonna tell you where Natsumi is.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he doesn't. He doesn't. So again, he's shown to be a moral person
So the next
consistently.
plot line we
I,
cut
I,
in
I
and
will
out of
I
a
will
bit.
I will say that like in that situation it's like I don't think it's like even like let's say he agree I don't think it's a smart decision to
I think he's
agree.
morally in his right to agree. Fuck
What?
Natsumi. She attempted to murder them all. She's also an existential threat.
Okay, but are you going to trust Ellen?
Fair.
Like
There. That is. Ellen opens the talk by complaining that she's not allowed to kill you. That's
Mhm.
not the best way to start negotiation.
Yeah, yeah.
I want to kill you, but my boss says I can't.
And also she literally has no idea where Natsumi is, and Natsumi knows that he doesn't know. So like,
So he has
you
no.
know,
He literally has no information to give, even if he wanted to.
yeah. So like, even from her perspective, it's like, okay, he didn't sell me out, but like, even if he wanted to sell me out,
He
could
would be
he?
like,
Probably
I
not.
equally don't know where she is.
Yeah, exactly. So like, yeah.
So next we cut to Origami, who gets a business deal from Deus Ex Machina Industries.
Origami has been finally converted to the good side, the Westcott
Nope,
Prescott side.
not quite.
Not
He's like,
quite.
no, I'll never agree to hurt Cheeto. So there's a few cuts, but I'll just do it all now because it doesn't intersect for a while. She runs away around the city for a while, but she eventually gets cornered by Ellen, who's too busy dealing with her to deal with the rest of the plot. That's why Ellen doesn't come back. She's too busy chasing down Origami. But they eventually goes through there and he's like, hey, you may not like us, but we are, the literal global military industrial complex. We can give you way better guns to shoot the spirits who killed your parents. So
Yes,
basically-
we will equip you with the weapons that you need to kill all of the spirits, and then Shido is going to just be yours. That's it.
Yeah, it's fun.
Done.
I mean, I don't
Which-
think they say that, but it's implied. I mean,
Which I think is the opposite of the plan Westcott actually is trying to accomplish. So like, I have no idea how he thought that this would be a good way of pursuing it, but it's Westcott.
wasn't
I mean-
wasn't Origami's arc resolved in season 1?
wait,
When
actually,
she didn't
Escott,
kill Kotori?
no?
No, she
that
still
was
she still
character
has problems with it. She still has problems with it.
Her
she
character
didn't-
arc is next arc, and then she gets boring
Yeah.
after next arc. I
And
love next
after-
arc, and then she gets boring in season 4. She gets
Yeah,
like 3
after-
jokes.
I guess she didn't want to kill. She did want to kill the spirits. It's just that Shido prevented her.
Oh yeah, no, that's it. She was like, I love Shiro too much, but god damn it, she would have taken the shot if Shiro wasn't in the way.
Yeah.
She didn't get convinced that spirits are good, because I remind you, Origami is the only person missing from the movie, so she didn't even get the opportunity to have
No, she was
to
in
have
the
that.
movie.
But she was kind of in the movie, but she wasn't in the movie in the same sense
She
that
got
all of
literally
the-
dragged
yes.
out of the plot.
Yes, but she wasn't in the movie in the sense that all of the other spirits were in the movie, where they like had to interact with each other and like actually resolve the problem that every single one of them is jealous over Shido. Like, she didn't get that development. So she is the only person who still is completely jealous over Shido, and nothing is stopping her from being
That
very
entire
hateful
movie,
towards the
she's trying to
spirits.
stalk Shiro in the wrong place.
Still,
Yeah.
comedy, yes, but the
Yeah.
point is that she is the one person that's been spared character development in the harem context.
And
Yes,
I will also remind you that she is Shido's first girlfriend and the one that loves him right away. And
Arguably, actually, I think reading the books, from the 1.5 novels I read, I think she's probably the only one who genuinely loves him. In like, because she loves him for him, and all the spirits love him for the person that he specifically manipulates himself to be, that make them fall in love with him. You know what I mean?
No, because like Shiro is just like
I
no, because yeah, no, that's not it.
You know, Metal
Because
Gear Solid, the best series of all time, unlike
I
this one.
would I would argue that Toka at least loves Shido specifically for Shido and not the person he like pretends to be for her, because Toka is just too dumb for
no,
manipulation,
because
and
That
we
is
see
true.
that. Yep.
Shiro does pretend to be somebody else at the start of the arc, but by the end, they all know who Shiro actually is. Anyway, so
True. Like at the end,
Debatable.
like there is a pattern here where Shido attempts to pretend to be somebody else that fails spectacularly, and at the end he like saves the spirit by just being himself, and that convinces the spirit that
Yeah.
actually okay,
yeah,
like
True, but
it's a formula.
I
Good
think
point.
everyone's
Origami.
I think everyone's love is genuine for Shiro. However, Origami is the only one that sees it right away, while the others need some time to get used to it. Even Toka.
The others have to be seduced. She falls for him without him doing anything by just observing him.
Yeah.
Which I don't know if that's good.
Oh yeah, this is not healthy. But my point is, it's more genuine.
I don't know.
Not that it's
I
good.
don't think it's more genuine. I think it's more like. Also, I don't think it's
Well,
problematic. Like,
I think we should maybe shelve this conversation.
Yeah,
As a future teller, could say, "Holy shit, do we gonna talk about this a lot in the next couple episodes?"
That's
alright.
true
Yeah,
because
let's
we're
finish.
gonna go into
Let's finish
yeah.
Humpty Dumpty. Yeah.
Right.
Humpty Dumpty.
Okay.
So
Humpty Dumpty. So the two satellites
I'll
are
continue.
named. Wait. I just want to point out two satellites are named Humpty Dumpty, and the weird machines that the Westcott, the industrial complex, is using are named Bandersnatches. So all of this is like a very protracted and weird Alice in Wonderland reference. I have no idea why. This story in no way
Just in
is.
future. Oh
Yeah.
God, I know. I don't know anything about it, but seeing a name of spirits and ones I don't recognize. What I think, if I remember correctly, a future one's name is Alice.
Okay, maybe that's entirely possible. I guess. Wait. What? Holy sh! Wait. What? Stop! Stop! I had a revelation. I had a revelation.
Do you want to follow the yellow big girl?
I had a revelation. No, I had a revelation. All of it is Alice in Wonderland. Kurumi, the clock, which the clock that's been a thing with the white rabbit. That Yoshinon has a white rabbit that is her spirit. I have no idea how Toga falls into it, but
This
surely
is
in
later.
some
There's a
way
girl
she
named
does.
Alice that comes later. I don't know
No,
anything. I literally know nothing about her other than she comes later. That's all I know.
I don't know if there is a character that we can somehow tie into being a Mad Hatter, but maybe.
Okay, the main MC. She's Alice in this.
Oh my god!
Wonderland.
All of this it's just a very convoluted Alice in Wonderland's meta. Holy shit! There's nothing original about this story. Nothing.
Yusuru is a wind spirit. I think there are wind spirits in Alice in Wonderland.
Maybe I don't remember.
I don't know. I'm
honestly,
gonna
no.
finish this up. I'm gonna finish this up by beat by
Uh-huh.
beat.
Yeah.
We'll continue this more in the next arc because wow, does the next arc play into this?
What happens to Humpty Dumpty?
So Humpty Dumpty comes down and Fraston just shoots it with its lasers. But the DAM other CEOs said Bandersnatches, they use their, by the way, apparently robots can do magic in this. Canonical AIs can do magic.
Bandersnatches aren't
Go on.
AIs. They have a central controlling unit, and they're like
They're just
anyway.
but I mean, like, not self-aware AIs. I mean, just like robot.
Okay,
Okay,
whatever. Bandersnatch comes in. What happens next?
So they use their things to shield the blast from the invisible Ratatouille ship. But sociopathic sister was like, you know what? I'm the fire spirit. I'm gonna blast it with literally everything I got. While Shiro's busy not going to a shelter like she told him to.
Because he's trying to find Natsumi in the city.
Yeah.
As the city is blasting the sirens and going
Which originally I'd be fine with this, like should be fine, but realistically, I mean, a fucking knife almost killed her. I'm pretty sure a nuke would fucking do her in.
the magical knife.
That is true, a magic knife. This is just a mundane ass. This is a mundane.
This is a mundane meteor impact. You know, it killed the dinosaurs, but I imagine spirits are a little bit more resilient than like big
So what
birds,
happens
right?
next?
Yeah.
So she uses all of her power, all of it, and she's like, "I did it. I saved Shido." And then everyone's like, "Wait, they're sending a second one." Humpty failed, but Dumpty's coming in to end the world. So all the spirits are like, "Fuck." They all do their fucking power-up stuff. Like, they all have to use their powers, powering up to the max. Also, they have different spirit designs here for some reason. These outfits they never wear before or after again.
Right, this is interesting. For some reason, specifically Yuzuru and Kaguya's designs change, and they're no longer like weird BDSM outfits. They turn into like airline hostesses dresses with like those little ties, and it's like it's ugly and weird and completely mismatched. And this is the design just for this episode.
I like Spy Girl's new design out there, and I like the Spy Girl style has like the Virgin Killer sweater. Apparently, that's her new outfit. The other ones also have character design changes, but they aren't enough for me to remember, even though I watched this an hour ago.
Like Toka is still in like a regal dress that is supposed to be, evocative of the princess.
Yeah,
Most of them look very similar.
What happens next?
Yeah? Right. Yeah.
They look similar. They look so similar, but it's different. I'm like, why did you change it only for this?
Yeah. I don't know. Anyway,
Alex.
So they end up. And this is especially weird because it's canonical. They don't choose their outfits.
Oh my gosh, Alex! You're the one
Finish
who
the story.
last time than us.
I could go late. Fuck you all.
No, but Titanic, and let's try to wrap
Okay,
this
I'll
up.
continue on. So they all use their powers in like a fucking super combo, but it's not enough. It's actually doing jack all. It's not doing jack all, but it's like they do literally everything. They do like a fucking tornado, but it's only delaying the inevitable. Because what the fuck is a tornado gonna do to an asteroid? It's a fucking asteroid. But at the last minute, before they all die, Witch Girl comes out, reveals that she was a lollipop all around, and asks, "You probably all hate me because I was willing to let you all die because I did nothing for the first one. I didn't know when saved. I didn't know when to be stopped. I knew nothing of that would happen." But she gets motivated by them all trying, to save half of Japan. Like I said, terrible person, but she's also irrational. And she swings her wand once, and she turns it into like.
Yeah, and she immediately trivializes all of the attempts of the whole rest of the crew because she just immediately turns the fucking ship into like some kind of a lollipop. She just turns them into candy.
Would probably still do a fuck ton of damage, but the maximum velocity of a tiny bunch of lollipops is probably breaking a bunch of cars and not,
So stop analyzing this in terms of physics because there is no physics to her powers. It's just cartoon logic.
Her powers canonically defy physics. They work They literally work in cartoon logic.
Yeah, but
other characters comment on the fact that what the fuck that didn't work like that.
Anyway, the point is that Natsumi is like incredibly overpowered, and she just trivializes literally everybody else working together, fucking all of them, and she's just like, nah, I'm gonna take care of this, and turns the fucking nuke into a bunch of lollipops. But then it is revealed that there's actually a second nuke. さて、2個目はどうする？大の木。
No, that was the second one.
That was the second one. So okay,
no, but the Fire Girl had to use all of her spirit power to destroy the first one. It took all of it.
Right, but then a bunch of Bandersnatches show up, and then Origami shows up.
Yeah, their new DM outfit, all shaded, like we're not supposed to know who it is, but it's her outline, and well, we already watched what happened. Obviously, we're only pretending for dramatic effect and not to watch it soon. But we're just gonna take a small little piss break. We'll edit out, before we continue on with the next arc.
But just to close a little bit here and not to leave the viewers hanging, thoughts about this season to have like a sort of a closing statement, Titania.
It was just bad, like I mean, I think it sounds better if you just hear like the story of what happened and not the details. But like in the Natsumi arc, there's this whole like scene where Shinon dresses up as a witch girl and then licks Shiro's face when he has syrup on it. And there's just like a lot of creepiness like in this arc, like especially when they turn into children, and like they show like moves the camera to sexualize them and stuff, and it's just like, why?
I
And
never
also,
understand
like,
what the joke is. I understand what they're trying to do.
Yeah, what they're trying to do is to go full lolicon and sexualize
yeah,
children. Titania, yes?
and
Keep
also
going.
like I think it's just like the execution is bad because it's like the first part where Natsumi impersonates Shiro is like skipped over really quickly, and she's found out immediately, which is not
That's
that
half the. That's
interesting.
literally 2/3 of the arc. That's not immediately. It takes 2/3 of the arc.
No, because like
The first,
no,
she impersonates Shido in like second episode, and that's it. She never does it again.
yeah.
That is true. And then she sexually assaulted everyone at Shido. It's weird that doesn't come up again. I guess I know why that doesn't come up again. There's an actual fucking plot reason.
Anyway, but yeah, anyway, that could have been like 3 episodes in him left himself, but it was just resolved very quickly without joke about Origami knowing
Which
Shiro
is
better
great. It
than
was all worth it. The resolution was worth it just for that scene.
if you say so. Anyway, but like then the one where she impersonates Shiro's friends, right? The
No, she
resolution
did.
was
No,
the
she.
least interesting.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah,
it was like
resolution.
have you seen Sherlock? It's like when he solved the mystery because he talked to like hobos that he pays to give
Off
information.
Oh yeah,
screen.
yeah, off screen.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. That's the problem. It's and like when Sherlock does it, it's completely insulting because that is a show that is supposed to be about mystery. This is Data Live. It kind of feels bad to be so strong against it because it couldn't execute the mystery well. It's a comedy harem show. Like it's not supposed to execute mystery well, but it's tried and it failed.
Yeah, and I will say it's better than Sherlock in that aspect, I guess, because at least he wasn't on screen off screen. It's just that the clues they gave were bad. And also because I feel like they missed the opportunity of having Kotori beat Natsumi because she had that whole date with Shiro, and if but Shiro never believed that it wasn't Kotori, so it could have helped like make her believe that Natsumi Shiro is
Fuck, you're
actually the
right.
person.
If Shido was able to figure out that one of them isn't them, that'd actually show he cares about them as people,
Yeah.
not just nuclear bombs he needs to keep on, keep it from exploding.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
and especially after the movie, that would be like some connective tissue. That would be like an interesting follow-up. But as we've discussed, the movie doesn't exist. Like the only
It
thing
definitely
that,
wasn't. It's on the light novels, so.
but I guess, but this is why we're trying to say like you wanted to like actual one of the spirits to be Natsumi and Shido for actually to have to figure out. I wanted Shido to be Natsumi because I thought that would be like
I
very
just don't know
interesting
how
to
that will
see.
work.
I can see that. The spirits call him out because they're like, wait,
Yeah.
the reason you're not acting weird because she's like, what do you mean? You all love me. He's like, you're acting off. Shido's not such a dick.
Yeah, yeah. Imagine if like all of them started to disappear one by one, and then like they were left with like maybe the free smartest spirit, like Kotori is left there,
Funny.
Miku is left there, like maybe Toka is left there because she's the emotional center, and they like have to discuss this, and they finally realize that it's Shido who's been acting
That would
weird
be
this entire
great.
time.
Also,
I
you
mean,
gotta
That
get
would be
Origami out
interesting.
of there.
I
She's
mean-
too smart. She would solve it too fast.
Yeah, she
you're
would
right.
immediately solve this. Yeah.
I mean,
She can.
that kind of literally happened.
No, it didn't.
Yeah, no, because
She does solves this entire scene.
no, no, no.
Yeah, that's really.
No, because remember, she impersonated Cheetah first, and then they.
Well, okay.
Yeah, but it
okay,
would have been cool if she does it twice.
Yeah, but again, it would be cool that it happens twice because one, they wouldn't expect it, and we, the viewers, wouldn't expect it. It would be interesting, and two, that would be like two very different resolutions to a very similar dilemma, which
And it
was
would give
like,
a bunch of characterization.
yeah, and it would be feasible that like this time Natsumi would be able to impersonate Shido better because she was literally told by Toka and Origami what to do to impersonate him better.
Yes, that. Oh my god, this would have been
Yeah,
great.
but I mean, like, okay, like, I
I still
feel-
like this art. Go on.
wait. I feel like Natsumi should have just been more competent, and we should have just had more time with the first.
No. She becomes a worse person the more competent you make her. She becomes more reprehensible the more competent you make her.
I kind of agree.
Okay,
Actually,
but
I
like,
have to.
then how? I don't know. It's just Shiro because she has a problem with Shiro because Shiro is the one that saw her in her normal form.
Right.
So
Yeah,
And what
that
would
makes
be-
sense. If she impersonates him to prove that she knows, like,
Yeah.
if your friends can't figure out it's not really you, they don't
Yeah,
care about you,
they
and no one
don't-
will miss your soul.
Yeah,
But then-
exactly. And it's like
but
if
then
he
the-
was like put in a fucking hyperbolic time chamber where he has to see all of these people like disappear, that would be a much better thing to torture Shida with than what she did.
Maybe she's like,
But then-
maybe she makes the others disappear, but she tends to put them back if they don't solve it. But she'll make Shido
Yeah.
disappear forever.
Why would she
Yeah.
do it twice though? That's the problem.
Because nobody would expect
You
that.
said that. That would be witch behavior.
That would be witch. Yes, all of this would be so much better. And yes, that would make her more reprehensible because that would make her more calculated. But that would also make her more of an interesting witch.
I don't know. I feel like and this
And
is
make the
like,
journey to forgive her harder, but also make it easier because she only did attempted murder on the fucking person Brett, who's more forgiving than fucking Morty from Rick and Morty, instead of all the other people that are known for holding fucking grudges.
Yeah, they would be like, well, she didn't actually try to murder us. She did try to murder Shida, which, like, reprehensible, but, like...
she would have still tried to murder everyone else. I think.
No, she says it, but she makes
Like-
others disappear. She tends to put the others back if they fail. It only permakill.
The story
Shido.
we've come up with is so much better than Date Alive.
I mean, I'm not trying to, like, I guess I also did this, but to a lesser extent, because, like, I think what you're
So
saying...
much lost potential.
It could be a good story, but I don't know if, like, that is a lot different than just somebody else being, like, the spirit, like...
But of course,
These are
Of course
actually
it's-
rather. These
like,
are actually
I-
rather
I
minor.
thi- I think-
these are
I-
minor
I-
changes. The next
Yeah.
arc works fine with these
Yeah.
changes.
I
Wait,
do
say that
believe,
again?
I do believe that the story you're concocting can be good and is probably good. I just don't know if that's like is it bad that Data Life wasn't able to do this? I think I mean you're saying lost potential, but it's just it is
Yes.
so much more different.
so you're
I'm
saying
gonna
that,
say-
like, right, so you're saying that what we're saying is what we're trying to create is much better, but is it really Date Alive? Like, does it fit with what Date Alive is trying to do? And you're saying that what you are thinking of in like, Natsumi turning into Kotori is more in line with Date Alive, what Date Alive is trying to do. And I can agree to that, yes,
Sorry to disagree.
maybe. But
I
also,
think-
what Data Live is trying to do is fucking stupid, and I want to make something better than that. And if that requires it to not be Data Live, so be it.
So I actually think what we did is more Data Live. Like it follows along with the writing of some better arcs in Data Live. And I honestly feel it's much more for what they were going for than your suggestion of like making her trans. I feel like this is much less significant differences to the script we suggested.
I have an idea. I have an idea.
I don't agree that making her trans is more of a like. Wait, sorry. Okay, I'm not saying about. I'm not talking about the Data Life writing style. I am talking about the what was written for this arc specifically. I don't think like okay, like here's just a change that doesn't change anything, like changing the color of Natsumi's hair, right? Wouldn't change much, but it
No, if you make her trans, it ends up like that. Basically, you have to change everything else around that change. But this change the plot can more or less move on the same way with the same ending. All it does is rearrange the first two episodes to be more interesting in her plot. It doesn't actually really change much outside those two episodes of the plot. It has no greater effect on the plot beyond that.
yeah, but that is so much
Other
more
than giving
different.
characters some more opportunities to reaffirm character growth.
But that's way more different, and it's not like I mean, Shiro is the one that's supposed to be choosing, but I guess I don't know. It's just like they already did that, and it's just confusing. Why they will do it again? And it's just like
Well, that's the point. So,
like,
which
also-
it's supposed
like-
to be
like,
confusing.
wait, I also want you to wait because like, will she still have done everything that Shiro did, but as Natsumi, like getting her face licked by Yoshinon and like
You'd probably
going
rewrite
on a
couple of
date with
scenes.
Kotori.
You'd probably rewrite the scenes so while the dates go on, they all notice he's acting weird. He's acting weird.
But
No.
then she's
No.
not doing as good a
She
job
might.
then. So
Yeah, that's
then
the point. That's why they call it
But
out.
then
Maybe.
it's the first episode all over again.
Okay. It's okay. We might not agree, and I think if we truly wanted to flesh this out and like really write this down, we would have to actually do that, which we're not gonna do. So maybe
That's fine.
we should maybe we should just sort of let this pilfer out. But I have an idea. How about our audience decides, and you tell us in the comments, in the lovely comments, which one do you think would be better?
We know one of you likes us. The last video got someone saying they're proud of the subscription, which of course we know because of magic, not because we recorded this ahead of time.
So we're addressing this specifically to you, the person that commented last time. Which one do you think is better? Natsumi pretending to be Kotori? Natsumi pretending to be Shido? You decide. We're not gonna obviously take your opinion as our own, but it would be interesting to see what
You
you
will
think.
validate one of us and tell us that we're clearly the better podcast.
You will validate at least some of us.
I'll say for my conclusion, I still actually really like this season, but wow, is the first half not good? I only really like this season because of my favorite arc for the second half.
And for my conclusion, I'm gonna say that I almost decided to stop being in this podcast during this season, and I almost decided to just stop watching Data Live completely because it managed to do the unthinkable. I sincerely thought that after Miku arc, it can't get lower, it can't get worse than this, and it managed to surprise me. It managed to jump that shark of incredibly low expectations and just soar right past it, just right down to the most egregious, heinous shit imaginable, and it made me fucking dislike a witch character as well. So it just ticked all of the boxes on the shittiest thing ever. So
Can we just discuss right now for one quick second before we take our we take our piss break, you take your we give you free internet access break.
I can go to the bathroom.
Well, I'm a robot. I also don't. I just go to the bathroom and make like piss noises.
I need a reboot.
Simulated.
I need a reboot.
Okay,
But,
anyway,
there's a Windows update.
I just wanted to say that it's what Eminem said was completely fair.
Yeah. So we'll be it's just gonna be 5 minutes for us before we stop pretending like we didn't already finish all Data Live. But the next time we come back, we're gonna pretend we only watched up to season 2, for pretend. But we're gonna go take a break. We're not gonna stop recording because we'll be back in 5 minutes. But we'll make sure to cut it out for you in editing.
Yeah. So remember to like, comment, and subscribe. And
if we
ring the
get
bell icon.
5 more subscriptions, we beat someone we know. So that's good.
Yeah. Not in subscriber count, but in like
No, explicitly a subscriber count.
No, in
but
real
also
life.
we're going to
I
beat them
will go
like with bats.
personally with a baseball bat. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's how
That's the
low we're
subscriber
going.
server. For 35 subscribers, we'll go out and we'll beat up a Nazi.
Yeah.
Yeah. In Minecraft, I guess. Or like
In
I don't know,
Minecraft,
like,
yeah.
No, we're gonna beat up a
whatever.
Nazi. Fuck you.
Wait, damn it! I don't wanna. This is. I don't know.
No,
I mean,
just
yeah,
Joker
we'll
me.
beat up a
Joker me
Nazi,
right now.
and as
Just
we all
start
know-
bleeping me out and put Joker makeup on my avatar.
And just in case like somebody wants to try and like a Nazi wants to say like, oh, they beat me just because of my beliefs. No, this beating will be completely justified. It's just that we need 5 more subscribers to be able to do it.
Actually, can we do it even if we don't get those subscribers? Because I kind of just wanted. Fine.
I mean, no, we need the subscribers to do it. It's not.
I guess
you're morally
it
responsible to
opens the
subscribe.
door
If
to
you don't
Mordor.
subscribe, Nazis aren't going to be punched. If you don't subscribe, it's your fault.
Yeah, because we need to open the door to Mordor. Like we will do it anyway, but we can't without opening the magic door, and that's why we need 5 more subscribers.
I guess you have to work first and then have fun.